Hey, it's Luke. Welcome back to another episode of Magical Insight with Luke Hillis. Speaking to you from Fairfield, Iowa, once again, my beloved hometown and where I currently live and work and thrive. So, this is a show about insights and tools and practices for increasing fulfillment in life. And what we have today is about sleep. So what I'd like to tell you about is an app that I got called Sleep Cycle, and Sleep Cycle has a number of cool functions, and the one that I'm going to highlight today is that it actually measures your sleep. Interestingly enough, so what you do is you leave it on like a nightstand by your bed, and it will pick up sound from you sleeping. Like it listens to your breathing and like moving around and other stuff and determines stages of sleep that you're in. And then it can give you like a graph that shows how your sleep was, and like when you woke up and when you're in deep sleep during the night. It tells you how long you were in bed, and it gives you a score of the quality of your sleep. Now, before I go any further, let me comment on what might be a few concerns that you have the moment that you hear that. One is, this app is listening to me. Like, like, is it sharing what's going on with some other resource? And the truth is, I don't really know everything that happens with the sound. I tend to doubt that they're like really trying to pry into people's lives while they're asleep. But I don't really know, so that's something to consider for me. I mean, my perspective is, even if someone was listening in on my sleep, like, what would they do with that? Like, I don't think anyone's planning a robbery on me or something. So I'm not really too worried about my privacy for how I breathe when I sleep and things like that. So I just sort of set that concern aside. If any app that says it wants to be able to listen through your microphone, it's kind of a question. Are they listening at other times when they're not supposed to be? Again, I don't really know, but I tend to be more of the trusting type myself. I have a lot of other apps that listen to, that I have microphone permission enabled. And I think most people do, and there hasn't been any devastation upon them that I'm aware of. If someone's listening to my speech to figure out how to give me better advertisements, that's sort of like, but also, I don't really care that much. As long as my safety isn't being threatened. And if I'm getting better ads, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I get ads anyways. If I actually get ads that are useful, that's not the end of the world. um, that's another one. And then with your phone sending out a signal, you don't actually have to have your phone on in terms of sending out a signal like Wi-Fi or a cell signal to use the app properly. You can put it on airplane mode, and then it'll do all of its stuff offline. And then once you connect again, actually even before you connect, you don't even have to connect it for it to work. It doesn't have to have any online cloud access to function. At least not that I'm aware of. It certainly does day by day. Maybe in the beginning. I don't think so though. No, nope. You don't have to. As I remember now, you don't have to have any cloud access for it. So, if you had like an extra phone, like an old phone that you're not using, you could get Sleep Cycle on that phone and just always leave it on airplane mode, and then the data would never go anywhere. If you're concerned about that, which of course I'm not promoting to be concerned about it. I'm more of the attitude of being trusting. And I think that hits all of the concerns that you might have been feeling just now. It works, so it uses the microphone. Also, though, you can use the motion sensor, and the way you do it is that you sort of put it under the top sheet of your bed, near where you sleep, and then it'll actually sort of determine what your sleep is like by your movement. And that way you don't even have to give microphone access. I didn't get that to be as fruitful as the microphone version, personally. But that's that. So back to the main topic of how you can use this tool for enriching your life, enriching the quality of your life. Sleep is, I think, the number one self-development tool that we have access to. I think sleep is more powerful than really anything. I think it's more powerful than meditation. And because if you sit down to meditate and you're tired, you'll just fall asleep. So to me, that shows that sleep is primary. That's like your basic survival needs, and in my experience, really your basic thrival needs as well. Now, I'm a huge advocate of meditation too, don't get me wrong. I think that those two together are really the two most powerful self-development techniques that there are, especially using, I don't have a whole lot of meditation experience with different meditations, but I've used transcendental meditation for a long time, and I find great value in that. And especially those two together, good sleep and meditation, is just like life-changing. But if you're only going to do one, I would suggest sleep, because it's really primary to everything else. When you're sleeping well, sleeping enough, sleeping more deeply, you just naturally feel happy. The problems just naturally fall away. You have energy, and then you're succeeding at things, and you feel even better. It's this upward spiral effect that as you feel better, you do better, and as you do better, you feel better, and as you feel better, you do better, and blah, 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 blah. So sleep is enormously powerful, enormously powerful. And to me, having this app, it gives me another way of putting attention on my sleep that helps me succeed at my sleep even more. Because I'm excited to get a good score, and I'm going to bed, I'm like, oh yeah, like let me do the things that I know will help me get a good score. Like, for me, some things are like if I take a shower before bed, I feel clean. Like if my head's not itchy or something, which if I take a shower, then I'm guaranteed to have a very comfortable scalp when I go to bed. Think about how I eat before I go to bed. Think about like what state I'm in when I go to bed. Like, did I take time to settle down, or did I just go from rushing to going to bed? Well, that doesn't actually work so well. So knowing that I'm going to get a score, it keeps me more accountable to do the things that I already know will help me get a good sleep. It also measures things like your time in bed. I mean, that's huge. Even if you're getting good quality of sleep, if you're not in bed for as long as you know makes you feel the best, being in bed longer will help. And this tracks how long you're in bed for. It tracks how consistent you are and gives you a consistency score in terms of when you're going to bed. Because that's one of the top tools for getting consistent good sleep, is going to bed at a similar time, night after night. And you can set your own sleep notes, as they call it, or I would call it like a sleep, like a practice measurements. Like, did I take a shower before I went to bed? Did I finish eating 3 hours before going to bed? Did I go to bed feeling settled? Did I, there's a whole lot of things that for each of us are individual to our own lives that you can put in there, and then you have these little check boxes, like did I this, did I that. You can also do it for negative stuff, like did I go to bed mad? Did I, work within an hour of going to bed? Like, was I using a screen up until this time? You have these yes or no check boxes that you can check, and then it'll do correlation statistics to see which of these practices will correlate with quality sleep. So, it for me is another way of being excited about doing my best for going to sleep, and giving me some actual objective measurements and data recording on what I'm doing. So I recommend this for you. I think it's like $35 or $40 for a year to use the app. You get a month free, and then after that you pay a yearly subscription. I think it's $35 or $40. I think that's totally worth it. How much do you spend to have a hotel for one night? More than that. And if this can help you have a higher quality of sleep all year and for the rest of your life because of what you learn through the process, I think it's easily worth the money. So, Sleep Cycle, available for Android and iOS. I recommend it, and I recommend that you make a real ownership of your sleep to feel great. This is Luke Hillis with Magical Insights from Fairfield, Iowa. If you liked the video, please share it, subscribe, comment, send me your questions. I'd love to hear from you. Great to see you. I look forward to seeing you again soon.